So guess whose suicidal attempt was finally successful? Yeah, this thing. Jumped out of my pocket and landed on a rock. And now this is all I can see. Nothing. Nothing at all. So I'm screwed. Stuck with the iPhone again. Can't I catch a break? Okay, so to be honest, I don't remember where I left off on this, and I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. But sometime between my last video and this video, I was trying to clean the screen and managed to rip off the home button. So, I'm trying to use this thing and like got no way to get back to the home screen or anything. So, like what I've been doing is just a little bit of wire, because you can see the contacts in there. Yeah, well, maybe you can't, but they're in there. Because basically you take this and that's what's supposed to be in there, but unfortunately I ripped it off, so like yeah, this is this is all that's left of that. Yeah, so I gotta pull that off, replace it. I also got a replacement screen for the iPhone, and since I annihilated the Skyrocket, I now have a new screen for it that I'm gonna go ahead and put on, and I'm gonna have two fully operational phones, since I also replaced the iPhone battery. I've been busy. Yeah, so I'm gonna basically just do all of that stuff here in this video in very high speed, because there's probably like 50 million of these kinds of videos on YouTube already, and like I'm not even gonna bother with a how-to. I'm just gonna do the stuff. So we're gonna do that stuff right now. Well, that was easy enough. Yay, I have a phone again! And it works. And it works well. Just like it did before. And it's like got all these updates to do now, since the whole thing's been offline for over a week and a half. The camera never seems to want to focus on it though. I don't get it. Cool, cool. Next up is, well, this thing is having issues because I pulled its SIM card out. Yeah. So now I'm going to replace the home button and the screen on this one. And it'll be good. Because I'm getting tired of having to use this to act as a home button. Let's see if I can get it to actually do that one-handed. It's not going to be nice about it. There we go. That is sad. Really. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and shut her down and do some replacing. Okay, so I forgot one last thing for the time lapse. I still gotta put the 2 screws in down here, but it works. What did that say? Oh, okay. I was like, wait, I don't know what this thing's telling me here. But yeah, awesome. It'd be so nice to have that again. And just like that, good to go. Old busted home button, the other half of it, old battery that shot craps, my poor busted Skyrocket screen. It's seen better days. Oh, one of the nice things about that screen is they sent me the replacement, and they sent me another front-facing camera with it, which was really cool because mine, after my little pool dive incident, mysteriously quit working. so now it works again, and that's pretty awesome. Let's see here. Okay, it's, yeah, there's the rear camera, and now, hello. Yeah. So yeah, awesome stuff. And now, for my final project of tonight, I'm gonna tear her phone apart and stick that in it. Alright, this phone will need to be charged for a number of hours before it'll actually turn on, but it now has a battery installed. A new battery. The old one over here,
Probably still really good.
it's probably still just fine, but now you got a better one. So now I got two old iPhone 3GS batteries, and this one is just straight up trash. Doesn't work for crap. More than about 5 minutes off the charger. So I'll stick this one on my 2 amp charger that actually my tablet is supposed to use, and get some boost on this thing, and she'll have a good phone again. Yep. In the meantime, all these old parts, busted screens, digitizer, so much fun stuff. I love doing this kind of stuff. And because I didn't think the phones having their parts replaced was good enough, I went and got a massive alternator for my truck, because the current one just doesn't keep up, as I've shown you several times before. Yeah, check out the size of this thing. See if I can get it out of the bag. Better can. There we go. Yeah. Now we're talking monster alternator. Yep, so this is my next project for today. Let's go stick it in there. Oh, and while I'm at it, I went over to a parts store and grabbed a couple new belts, because in order for this alternator to work properly, you're going to need an inch longer to an inch and a half longer serpentine belt. So I've got one that's 1.5 inches longer and one that's just 1 inch longer. And this here's the original stock belt. The only reason it's not in the truck now is because I had to take it with me, because I have no idea how long this belt is. Apparently it's a 95 incher. This one's a 96 and a half, that one's a 96. So now we're gonna go install these things. And I really hope that puts an end to my issues. Now, the nice thing about this job is you don't need very many tools to do it. 2 13mm bolts, 13mm on the back of this alternator for the power wire, and on this one it's a 10mm. But the mounting is exactly the same, and all you need to do for the serpentine belt is get your wrench in there, just fit that in there. You can pull it back rather easily, so that's all you really need. So let's get this started. Now you can see the difference between these two alternators. The stock for the S series Blazers and S10s and everything else is a CS130D, and as you can see, quite a bit smaller than the one used on the full-size trucks. This is an AD244, 145 amp output at load, I guess, at full speed. This one only puts out about 105. And that's at speed. This one, I have heard, is able to put out 100 amps at idle, even when warm. This one barely puts out 35 to 40. So, the nice thing about these is, they're Chevy, they're used on Chevy engines, and all of their mounting is identical. So you can see, hole here, hole here, hole here, hole here. And the plug used is also identical. So, it's a rather simple replacement and rather quick and easy to do. And really, I think everyone should do it. Especially since I have so much more electrical load on this truck than most S10 Blazers do, because I have these E-fans in here. And they pull quite a bit of juice, and my alternator doesn't like that very much. Add to that my system and everything else, and I had to put my regular headlights back in, so they're all halogen now instead of HID versus halogen. And I have a spider web started over here. Cute. Anyway, let's get to this. Get this massive sucker in there and start it up and see what we can do. I probably made that look easy, didn't I? I'll be honest with you, I have done this job so many times over the years with this truck that it's like second nature. I can do it in my sleep now. So, now, the next thing to do here, look at the size of that beast. Like as big as the compressor. But now, I figure out which one of these is going to work. Because what we want to do here is, well, there's supposed to be a line on this little pulley here that you want this little wide spot here to line up with. Let's see if I can get it there while holding the camera. You want that wide spot to line up with that little tick mark right there, to be within that white area on the pulley. Idler, I guess you can call it. It's an idler pulley. You want this to be where that is. So, since this alternator is quite a bit bigger, the stock belt will not work. If you even get it on the pulley at all, it'll be a miracle. So, I got longer belts. So let's try them, see what happens. Okay, so the 96 appears to be just right. It's still a little off on this pulley, but once the engine goes over a couple times, it'll recenter. Take there. It's inside the wide portion. Let's see if we can get it to do anything. It's a little outside, but it should be alright. Alright, let's see what our voltmeter's doing here. It doesn't sound so happy starting up. Yeah, it's a little low. I wonder why. I don't have anything running in here, I don't think. Huh. Oh yeah, jump right up there. We'll go for a drive in a bit and see how she does. Well, it seems rather content to hang out about 13.7, 13.8, but overall, it's doing a lot better than it did with the old alternator. So I'm happy. With the E-fan turned on, with the AC turned on. It's hanging out. And it even stays there at idle. So, I like this. I like this a lot. And when it's cold, it starts up at about 14.4, which is great. So yeah, right now I've got a little bit of bass ready to go. Something I've really missed. And I haven't really done a whole lot of, so let's go ahead and point you out the front of the windshield here and turn it up.
This birds are truly one.
And just for good measure, we'll do another one.